Someone might know me from the accounting team. So I'm not from the framework team. I've worked there for some months. And you might ask why. An accounting guy can work from the framework for some time. Well, first of all, we'll talk about this reason, then see what's new, show a brief demo, show maybe how to make one of your commands, and a conclusion where I'll ask you to share some love. So I will start like this, asking you if you have a passion, if you have something that energizes you, if you have something that fuels you, that keeps you up at night, that gives you something to think about during your day, that brings energy to everything that you do, a passion that drives you, making yourself getting better and looking for something else that you're given. Well, for someone, it might be space, the exploration of the world. For someone, it might be something like sports and swimming. For someone, it might be coffee, so drink it responsibly. But if you want to do research in the night on the better coffee taste that you find at Starbucks or somewhere else, maybe artisanal coffee or your local coffee shop, well, for me, it's the command line. It's something hard to say. I make myself vulnerable a bit. But yeah, maybe I'm not the only one. You know, Lennon said. So why do I like the command line? The first reason is because it's precise. You don't have too much to wonder about. If you write a command and you write some flags, they have to be correct. Even if AI nowadays can give you a bit of a hand in getting that correct, if they find the right specification. It's very powerful because it gives you full access to the system where your software is installed on. It has no interface other than the terminal itself, so you don't, as a backend engineer, I don't really care about like visual widgets. I just care about having my data organized as text, and then I can parse it. This makes it also a case for composition, where tools that have a common interface that is text compose together. Just like now with AI we are acquainted with, but on the very basic level, we have a text interface that is standard input, standard output, and we connect. And also, having these chains written down also enables automation, which is very much easier than automating a graphic user interface. I tried on Windows with AutoHotkey or other stuff. It's very, very hard to automate a graphical user interface. It's much better to do it with standard command line interfaces. Of course, Odoo has plenty of those ways to integrate, like JSON RPC, and this is just another way that it's special to my heart, and they can do slightly different things. Odoo historically has a command line, but it needs some kind of love, because when you try to have help about that, you end up seeing all the commands, and the main command is one, which is the one that runs the server, which is all-purpose, all-powerful, some kind of pointing you with a sword kind of command, which is the server, which starts the server, installs modules, exports internationalization files, starts the crons, does everything for you. Problem is that in the Unix philosophy and generally in the philosophy of the command line, it should be better if tools did one thing and did it good instead of confusing you with too many flags. Especially the server command has flags that actually are configuration flags, configuration on how to run the server, not about the command that you do to start the server. Many of the commands of the Odoo command line are using opt parse, which is kind of outdated. It's not deprecated. It's been de-deprecated. It's been brought back, actually, as Julian Jouc says. But argparse have native subcommands, which make it for discoverability, and we'll see it later. We don't have list comments, list arguments in optparse. We have them in argparse. And also, there was missing documentation for some of the commands. So what's actually new? Why am I even speaking here? So first of all, I did the documentation for all the commands that were left out. As you can see, I have it here, the comparison. It's much clearer to see. I also have it on local, so if I go to the database command, which no one knows about, I can have all the commands here with all the flags. Okay? And this is just a plus that I've done in the last few weeks. And then I made some new commands just to get started with it, because I got some, let's say, mandate from Anthony to start working on that, because he has seen my passion and he said, okay, let's use it for something that is available for everyone, because there are so many tools that actually promise to make Odoo work better for developers, but everyone is using its own. So let's start from the basics. Let's start for something that everybody can use and can use as a brick to build a wall. So new commands do only one thing. They have limited options that make the commands easier. They are mostly alternatives to the server command, because getting rid of the server command is impossible. It's like you have to keep it for 10 years kind of support kind of thing. And they mostly don't start the server. So the first of all that was missing is db-init, which is a command that initializes and creates a database with all the peculiarities that Odoo uses, like the collate, which is see if you use the template 0 of PostgreSQL. It installs some extensions of a PostgreSQL that you might not know if you just create it with pginit, or if you initialize the database with Postgres directly. This not only creates the database, but it initializes it with the base module, the currently available base module. Then there is module, which is a command that has some commands that I've made just to speed up the setup of the database when I use it. So I create the database first, and then I install the modules I like. This module installs multiple modules at a time, and it's xargs friendly, which is quite difficult to say, but it's basically you can have a file. You can have a file, and you can use the content of the file as arguments to the command, so that you can have like a list of your modules that you want always to install, and with a line of script, you can actually install them all after initializing the database. At the same time, you will have uninstall and upgrade, which basically do what you imagine. It's just the same. Upgrade has a curious flag, which is outdated, that Christoph, one of my colleagues, asked to actually upgrade only modules that have a newer version. It's missing the re-init command, because it was released later in the 19th version, so I didn't have time to implement it, so it went like that. But I think that it will be available soon. There is force demo, because there was no easy way to force the installation of the demo, also for setup and preparation scripts without actually starting the server. And then there are the internationalization commands. Internationalization is quite a complex term, but it's mainly the files that you use to translate Odoo. And they used to be exported when you started the server again. So I removed it directly from the server command. This is the only not compatible thing. there, because we have some synchronization with the translation platform nowadays, so we don't use it that much anymore, if not for localizations, which don't have to be translated that much just in one language. And so we don't want them to be on a platform that maybe like Spanish will start translating Italian localization, and it makes a mess. Okay. So we can export, we can load languages from the command line now, multiple languages. So if you are in Belgium, you can install your French, your English, your German, and your Flemish, Dutch languages all at once without even starting the server. Then there are the export and import commands, which works pretty much like before. I leave the details for the documentation since we don't have that much time. And then I wanted to make you a brief demo. It's just something simple, so we can have a bit of help. And the help, I don't know if you're able to see, it shows all the commands that you have. And for the newer commands, like module, argparse makes you get the help of the subcommand like this. So not only you limit the number of flags, but you also are helped in actually discovering them. So if I want to create a database like OXP, let's say force, and let's say that I want to install a language right away, and also a country for the database. Sorry, language. And as you can see, it installed also the Italian language. So if I want to install also account, voila. So I used a default Odoo RC, which I use to speed up things when I use the basic commands, so I don't have to repeat much. It's if you put the configuration file under the Odoo RC environmental variable, or under your directly with this path under your home, you can make it very simple and just start like this with some basic flags about the database, the add-ons path, and this is just because otherwise it complains with a warning. So make yours. I would like to show you something that I'm working on. I would like to bring about, but I don't know if I will be able to convince others about it. It's about making your own command, because every module inside the CLI folder, this is undocumented CLI, I have to work on that. But if you put a Python file with the name of the module inside the CLI folder, it actually gets picked up by Odoo. And I have made a template for that. Odoo being scaffold, using the scaffold command. Sorry, I have to switch whip scaffold. I'm changing the build to my experimental one, and if I do, I can make a custom command right from a template. So it has just rendered a set of Jinja scripts that creates a new command that is called hello. So that if I do Odoo being help, I should be able to see it. And right it is. Right there. So if I do Odoo being hello, I have a new command. Let's see it, just to see how it's made. So I have a manifest, which is standard, init, which is empty, the CLI folder, and inside the CLI folder, a Python script with the same name, a class that has the same name capitalized, and then I have some argument parsing, which is the same of all the other commands, and you don't have to care much. But it also has a function that does what you want and can print to standard output, so you can compose it. So now it's time to share your love, I think. I tried to do Odoo bin test, but the testing commands are too entwined with the installation process, with the start server process, so it's too hard to get any value. We discussed it, but there was no way. Partners rely a lot on the existing commands. Many developers still fear the terminal, and the management always looks for return on their investments. So it's hard to deal with this kind of innovation, which is a retrofuturistic innovation, I have to say. But if you do share your love, if you like and subscribe, if you share this presentation, if you give feedback to Odoo, if you talk to the partners and they like it, you can push for more changes. So if you have any questions.
Oh, thank you for the call.
I don't hear you at all.
Sorry?
I don't hear you at all.
You don't hear me?
No.
Ah, okay.
I don't have the earphones.
Ah, okay. So I take it for the room. That's
Sorry.
Easy. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a few questions. The first one is thank you, awesome talk. But the second one is how did you manage to install a module without specifying the database?
The database is specified, but here, inside the Odoo RC, there is the database name here. So it's the default database.
Okay, great. Second question is there a command to restore a database with changing parameters, just like with the initial database?
To restore, you mean to dump and restore? Yeah, there is. There is dump and there is drop. There is load, this one, which I documented, which wasn't used much, but these are already there.
Great. Any way to force no demo? When Odoo is installed with demo, doesn't seem to be possible. Add modules later without demo.
And now no demo is default.
Great.
From 19.
How does module upgrade outdate works? Based on manifest version, file hash?
Yes, manifest version.
Would this be added to Odoo SH deployments?
I don't know about the deployment of Odoo SH, but yeah, I guess.
Okay, great. When will the performance-related configuration documentation be updated to perform tune your server taking into account workers, etc.?
This is something that I'm not working on, the configuration itself. I know there's been some work on it, but configuration is even harder to change because cloud providers and partners rely on every single flag to be there. So changing it and making it better is always hard. I know there's some community add-ons and commands and tools to actually set up the configuration, which is all already optimal. I've seen that on LinkedIn just like 2 days ago.
Okay. We often use Python init script to install languages and chart of accountant initially on a fresh system. Is there a better way?
Sorry?
So
we
often use Python init script to install languages on chart and chart of accountant initially and a fresh system. Is there a better way to do it?
No, I think it's a good way if you already have a module. If you're not like developing, experimenting, or maybe automating too much. But if you already have your module that does all the stuff you need, keep your module. It's the right way. I'm talking about before even starting the database for the first time. So maybe you want to bootstrap things so that your modules will be ready.
Okay, great. There are no more questions. I think we are running out of time, but I guess you will be accessible after if there's any additional question. Thank you. Enjoy your Odoo experience.
Thank you very much. 10 seconds. I've done. Thank you.